There we are. All right. We are good, Dave.
Okay. We'll start with our Rush Conservation Board agenda for January 8th, 2026.
Okay, Chairman Watson,
Here.
Deputy Chairwoman Liederman.
Here.
Member Kraus. Here. It's a quick. Quick, attendance here.
I don't think we need your
Here we go.
synopsis because we have those on the derivation.
Our next meeting will be February 12th of 2026. Any problems with that? Did you talk to Sue? No, or,
No, I got a text message from her.
Okay.
Yeah, she went to the doctor today and
okay,
wasn't feeling well.
so we'll plan on February 12th. Have we got stuff for next month?
Yes, there will be projects.
Okay.
I do have one in already, so.
Get the minutes from our last meeting. Any problems with that?
I move to approve the minutes from the
I
last
second.
meeting.
Okay,
All right, Chairman Watson,
aye.
Deputy Chairwoman Liederman,
Aye.
and Member Kraus.
I,
New business. So they want to put a dispensary up in the market?
Sure.
Okay, and just for clarification, now you told me that one of these is not actually going to see the planning
other
board, but
Correct.
that's okay. So
So it's actually, you had them just flip flopped.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, 2015 is the Roy informal review.
my apologies.
That one's going before February because.
But we can do it now.
You can, you
Yeah,
might as
since-
well.
yeah,
I mean, it's
since
not gonna change.
And
So,
we had to meet for the other one, so.
exactly.
So what can you tell us about the
So,
application?
this is sentence, it wasn't become when licensed a cannabis dispensary. That's all we have.
that's it.
It's a picture of the.
Yeah, it basically, they have been, talking with a company out of, I believe it's out of Henrietta, but, this company has grown quite large, and as far as I'm aware, it's just for retail selling. I don't know what all that's going to involve as far as security and all that, because I know Canna had to do major security, so that's really all I know.
So we would have two cannabis dispensaries in
Yeah.
Rush.
Which
Yes.
is not a conservation board issue.
No, I don't think so.
No.
So it's simply if it would be sort of like if they're planning to, if they were planning to sell beer, that really wouldn't be up to us. So,
Right.
No.
They already have that, yep.
if they're planning to expand their footprint at all.
No, I believe it's already space that is going to be within that, like service area on the, so there's a picture of it, but I don't really think it's this.
Was there, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, the roof service area, I don't know if they're going to have to build part of this out. I don't think that's the case, though. I think
Well,
it's.
there was
going to be-
talk of Colby's going in there too, wasn't there?
Well, they're just going in the store.
Yeah,
They put coolers
they're in the store with,
Yeah,
yeah,
they put
Yeah.
coolers in the store and they're probably gonna be in the bays.
yeah.
Okay.
There's
So
quite a bit of
it's-
stuff in the store too from Colby's.
Yeah, they put like 5, 6 coolers in there.
Yeah,
So it's like their baked goods and stuff.
Baked goods and sandwiches and
prepared meal to
Desserts.
go. You know. Yeah,
Just, and they do have a sign up that says our new location is at the Rush Market, and John's like, wait a second, we don't know that they're in the, I mean, there was talk that was happening.
so the name of the business up there is Rochester Oil House.
I put on the derivation table, it says PEATAS.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Market.
Yes, that's the applicant. It's Emra Hectus, so he has been down here, a few times asking different things, so. he just decided that this was something, he's been talking to this company, so.
Okay, well, I'll state a motion, that we can check the box for, we have reviewed the application and do not find any aspect to significantly impact the environment.
Second that, or move it, or whatever.
I just moved it, so you're seconding that.
However, there is no application for us to review. I always go over the EAF. Every single bit of it, there's nothing but a sentence. And I'm sorry, and the planning board is not looking for anything from us. But
Well, whether they look for it or not, they can get it. But I don't think we need to give them anything on this.
well, you just did.
Okay, just that you reviewed it.
Yeah. Well, yes, I mean, I want the planning board to hear from us, frankly, on every project.
No, but there's nothing for us to review.
Yeah. Well, let's ask Marjorie, is there a problem? Does this not meet the, the requirements for an application?
Well, no, this is an actual, it is considered an application, it's just an informal review. All the applicant is looking to do is to come before the planning board and get their recommendations or their feedback, basically, whether this would be something that's viable or not. And then what would happen is if there were any, code issues or whatever, within that, they would discuss that, but it does not get sent to Monroe County. There is no, planning review from Monroe County because technically this is just a concept and they're just coming to get, feedback.
Information.
But you would actually review the project if the project does, come to fruition.
So, okay, I'm not quite envisioning what it would be as a project. But I guess we'll see if they submit
Yeah,
something.
it's just a proposal, to find out if that's a possibility,
See if, basically see if the town has any objections, I guess.
pretty much. I mean, I think the planning board would also advise them as to, all right, this is, you might want to think about this, or you might want to, make sure you look at this particular, side of things. John Limbeck's usually the one that says, code wise, yes,
Right.
it's doable. Which I know that John had already talked to, Emra about that, so. But yeah, it's basically just, he's just coming to see if this is something that would be feasible.
Has there been any problems with the existing one in town here?
Not that I've heard. You haven't heard anything.
I guess there's a motion on the floor. Well, if there's no more discussion, we'll need a vote.
All right, Chairperson. Watson,
Watson,
sorry.
aye.
A little boy out of it. Deputy Chairwoman Liederman
Aye.
and Brian Rouse.
Okay, so this,
Nothing to be sorry for. Okay.
Now for our Roy informal review, so
well, that was Roy, right?
No, that was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Texas or,
Oh.
Rushmore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. So the Roy informal review, this one is getting moved to, February. But he has thought about purchasing the property that is diagonal from the Rush Market, which used to be the Dorschel,
I see.
property as well. And he has aspirations for a fitness facility there.
What?
A fitness facility. Apparently there's 20 acres that is zoned commercial, but there's also acreage that's zoned residential. He says, I would like to maybe build out the rest of the residential if that was a possibility and they could, change the code of that other section. I don't know what's all involved with that, but, if he could, and I don't know if that means he would develop the whole thing as a commercial property, but I don't really believe.
did you say that there's access from Middle Road?
That's what Supervisor Hankins said today at our meeting. Was that, because I believe that the access would have to be from Middle Road because the DOT will not allow a curb cut off of 250 or off of West Henrietta.
How could it be from Middle Road
It apparently the property goes that far.
along the express?
Yeah, it goes along the expressway. There's a creek in there. It borders Schwazman's. Yeah, Larrabee's.
So
Oh, right, so it would be coming across this way, say.
Goes right along the expressway. I think it might even back up to the development of the 5 houses there on Town Line Road that are being put in.
Build a health and wellness center with the commercial acres and part of residential acres, if allowed to convert some of the residential acres to commercial.
Right.
So although Marjorie has other information, we don't have anything like that to review.
No, the only other thing the only reason I had that today was because we had overstaffed. And that's one question that we had brought, our Supervisor Hankins had brought up, so that's why I know about possibly it coming from Middle Road.
But the applicant is not letting on anything.
I
Yeah.
don't think he knows.
I think that sounds kind of speculative from from my hearing of this.
And how-
About Middle Road, because, saying, okay, but we don't think DOT would allow them to make a cut, but we don't know that,
I think that was previous, I think
Yeah.
that they did a traffic study.
Right, they did traffic study.
Project there, and they would not allow it. So that's why, I'm pretty sure that's why Supervisor Hankins said that it would have to come in from Middle Road because he knew that property. So,
Yeah.
Think
But
the-
we have none of that information. We
No.
have no EAF.
No.
We have one sentence.
Well, I think that, yeah, but that's, it's still something they're talking about doing, and I would rather be in on the process and make comments sooner rather than later. I mean, it's gonna have to come back. It's not,
We know that it's coming.
Yeah, if it goes any further,
Right.
we'll have another opportunity, but on the other hand. Right, but on the other hand, I mean, like, if it's something that pertains, to environmental issue, I'd rather, let's say it's something that, where if they wanted to cut down a forest, okay, that land is forested, they'd have to cut down the whole forest. I want to weigh in on that at the informal stage, not wait until it's a proposal.
We don't know that. There are wetlands.
Yeah,
They know they have to avoid the wetlands.
Well, but I think we need to say that, whether they know it or not.
Okay.
I don't trust what people know and what they don't know, so.
yeah, I don't
Well,
know how
that's why
much
they're
he
going
knows.
before the planning board to
and
hash all this stuff out.
Right, and we
And-
can have input into that, along with the planning board. That's my
do
view.
you
I mean,
think that it'll be before the
to
planning
be able
board?
To do this.
next month?
In February? Yeah. I mean, he's planning on it. He just had a surgery come up that he has to recuperate from.
Roy does.
Yes.
Okay, so if there are, do we know if the wetlands are on the property? You know so much of this, Dave, on the part.
Well, I
that's
know
on-
that there's a creek that runs down through between Schwazman's and there.
We don't,
Yeah,
well, Dave sometimes knows this, you sometimes know this, I very seldom do. But once in a while, but we probably don't know if the part that's now zoned commercial if that's,
and
includes the.
we should be
wetlands or
looking
not.
back at what the dorsal application.
We could, and that's something that, I mean, we do have access to that information. We don't usually bring it out when it's an informal review. That would be once the project actually comes.
Do you think we could have that for next month?
No. We have what is called our, road files in.
Yeah,
here.
archive of it, yeah.
And I do know that I looked up some information from there before for someone else that was looking at that property,
Yeah.
so. And there were, different things in there though, traffic studies, things of that nature. So.
I think the only thing with dorsal was maybe a traffic study. I don't re-
Septic in the disposal system, put the stop to it. Cause they didn't have enough room
Was what?
They didn't have enough room to put a septic system in there, so they're gonna put a treatment plant in.
Oh,
And the phosphorus and the, something else. Going ahead of the thing. There's no way to take the phosphorus out of it. And, so they ended up crushing the project.
now how would a fitness center handle that? Would they,
Sorry, what?
would a fitness center be expected to be able to use a septic system?
Well, that's something you gotta ask yourself, because I don't know if they have towels that they're gonna be washing a lot, or is it just basically a workout area, people come in and leave? Most of them have showers and stuff that I'm aware of, you know.
People are gonna be using the bathroom. It's
So
gonna be
then,
more
you
than
know,
an ordinary.
Gonna
household.
generate a fair amount of water, people taking showers and cleaning up, going home, or going to work. So those are gonna be questions that you're gonna. need to
Didn't
look.
Dorshel have like two different applications? They were trying to do.
They
two
tried a
different
couple
things?
different things.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh, maybe that's.
yeah.
One was the senior citizen home back in there. The other one was a little strip mall, bank, and something else.
Yeah.
There was a proposal for a car wash of some kind.
Proposal for a car wash there.
They
So-
threw out all kinds of ideas because there was no,
Nothing stuck.
right, they were just concepts. There was no holding them to anything anyway. They got the rezoning and they got.
Well, that could be why it's still sitting there.
So Pat, they got a rezoning for the commercial section that this applicant's talking about?
And
Well, no, but
Does-
then apparently the 20 acres is not all commercial, right?
No,
It's-
the 20 acres is commercial, there's more acreage
I
that's
see.
residential, yeah, I
Okay.
think it's like 30 something total. I remember right. But
Okay, now, do we want to put in some comments about some of these concerns now? Or Dave, would you prefer to wait and do it all next month?
we'll wait until next month and see. We'd like to see that Dorshel application or,
Okay, so you want to make a motion that we table this till next month?
yes,
And I'll second it.
all right, so Chairman Watson,
I,
Deputy Chairwoman Liederman,
Aye.
and Member House.
I,
next old business, access to wetland maps at Conservation Board meetings.
Frankly, couldn't remember where we left this from the last.
extensively saying what's available through the county and the GIS and all of that stuff.
I did pull it up, but I can't read it very well, so you guys are gonna have to help me a little bit. But I can actually pull that up, and oops, I was on it already. So this is the environmental mapper. And this is actually through the Department of Environmental Conservation. But Pat said, you can use this as a resource, but it has a disclaimer in there, right? That it was, had something to do
Not
with
so accurate.
it might not be accurate to today, or, something of that nature. So you can actually type in, we move our little window here. Here we go. You can type in, what you would like to see in here. Is this Rush right
Okay.
here? No, that's add-on. Okay, so I had both of them. Perfect. So if you were looking at a specific location in Rush, in the town of Rush, what you would be able to do is you would be able to come over here to the legend, and you can actually click on layers of objects that you would like to look at. So this one's unique geological features. There's not a lot that I found under that particular category. But when you go to water bodies, there, all of a sudden you see your rivers and streams and all that populate. And then if you go down, this one is, what is this? Water body, another water body, so it's lakes and reservoirs. So, as you keep going, there are different things that you can look at under here. There is also wetland layers. So if you put on all wetland layers, you're gonna get all of this pretty purple.
It is pretty.
And the pretty purple is going to be your wetland areas. So if you zoomed in and you said, all right, I wanna look at, let's look at Stony Brook Road, which is right here, right? This is Stony Brook.
Yeah.
So here are your wetlands. And
Excuse me, are they both federal and state, or do they differ?
I believe I chose all later. So one is freshwater, one is informational freshwater, and then you have estuaries, marine deep water, so the purple. What's the purple? I would assume the purple is informational freshwater wetland mapping. If you click on here, that'll tell you what that is. It's only intended to be used for informational purposes in identifying the general location and extent of freshwater wetland areas of any size throughout the state. It's not written. So that's really kind of what I have been looking at just every now and again, because it does give you a little bit more helpful information when looking at the EAF.
We look at the area we were just talking about? Can we look at the area that we were just talking about?
So. Okay, where's that? So, and then there's middle, and then right here.
Right, fine.
About in here, right? Am I correct? Oh, no, that's 390.
Yeah, but for the borders,
Oh, yeah, right here's 15. Yep, okay, so it'd be right in here. So yes, there is, the green is your freshwater forested shrub wetland. So with Middle Road over here, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, are they coming in this way? So there would be a long driveway here, or, but there's houses here.
and
right?
that would
Yeah.
be so expensive.
There's Farm Crest. It'd have to be farther down.
My speculation would be that the applicant's not gonna wanna do that.
Yeah.
Because of the expense. They're probably hoping
Yeah.
that they can get a different answer from
On the state.
from the state, yeah.
Right.
And that's happened
It
many,
borders two
many
states.
times, where they try. It doesn't mean they're going to get it, but yes, I remember.
That's why they've done those traffic studies, because I believe Rush Market had to do that too. And of course, theirs was for their already ingress egress areas, but they also would have loved to have had another way into that gas station, but they can't because 390 is too close and New York DOT said.
Rush Market runs a different. Traffic patterns in front of Rush Market, totally different than the traffic patterns getting on 390.
390,
There
yeah,
is absolutely no way the state's gonna allow another exit out there.
right there, yeah,
Because
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 the
they
other
had-
ramp is
yeah.
right up
Yeah,
from that, yeah.
never gonna happen.
No, I know.
You already know that.
Yep. So it's just kind of another tool that we can use, if you want me to look up, you know, a certain area on here, I can certainly do that when we're discussing the EAF or, you know, anything. But that's kind of the gist of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't think we need a motion, but maybe let the minutes show that we discussed this and that we now have access with your assistance, you know, to this material.
Okay, a second that motion.
You know, I don't think we need a motion.
Huh?
I think we can just note that for the
Okay.
minutes. Now, as far as the recommended expiration dates for approvals, you know, I'd like to sort of revisit this going forward, you know, not this month or even maybe next month, because we're in a volatile situation. You know, the code committee is looking at it. We have a new majority on the town board, but it's something that I would advocate at some point in the fairly near future that we put something in officially to state our position as the Conservation Board on that. Because I think it's a very significant issue. I do have the understanding, that's too strong a word. I have the impression that there's another school of thought, and you know, that's okay too, but another school of thought saying that the current setup is sufficient. Some of us on the Conservation Board do not agree with that, and I would like us to go on record at the appropriate time, you know, with that position. And I
Be
made,
careful.
yes. Yes, and maybe like with a memo to the town board and the planning board, as we've done sometimes before. when we wanted to state a position. So if it's okay with everyone here, I'll just, keep putting it on the agenda under old business, and we can decide if and when is the appropriate time, to take an official position on
And
it.
like you said, it's being reviewed by the code committee.
And my impression is that I don't know what all the code committee believes. My impression from speaking with Scott is that he's very much on board with the idea of putting in time limits. And therefore he might appreciate the support from the conservation board. Because again, I know it's not necessarily a unanimous opinion.
Right.
No report from environmental.
Okay.
Protection Council.
Was there a meeting or anybody, did Beth go to the meeting or?
It's
Yeah,
sustainability thing. She's been there before. She's very familiar with this.
Okay.
Didn't see a need to go again.
code committee, we've had no meeting.
You got any meetings scheduled?
No, there isn't. We're still waiting on Scott's health to improve. Tree committee? Anything? Okay. Luther, got any information from you?
Not really. I mean, we're just getting started with a new board. Kind of seeing where everybody, how it all fits together.
Get everybody on the same channel, huh?
I do think, on the cold committee, as far as working on the, R30, R20. That's gonna be put on hold for a while. Lee is looking at alternatives, try to save money within the town. Combining or cutting jobs, things like that, so. We have a 120-day grace period. So we can review it as a board. For the cuts that he wants to, or I shouldn't really say cuts, but how he sees things, that how he would like to see things happen. So we're gonna be busy with that, with him, what he's talking about. So I don't see the R30 code getting dealt with anytime soon. Thus pushing the solar out also, so
Yeah.
the chain reaction.
Is anything happening with the solar project at Agola?
They're starting the underground tunneling on
Yeah.
the river, and that's about all I know.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
supposed to start, I don't know, next week or
I thought
2
it-
weeks. Is supposed to start pretty quick here,
Yeah, I haven't heard anything since.
so.
So
since
I'm not
Supervisor Wilkins
I'm
was
not
here.
quite getting it. I mean, it's the code committee that's talking about the R20 or an R30 or somebody else's?
I'm sorry, what?
For the R20 and R30 that you said was gonna be on hold. Is that the code committee or somebody else?
Well, the coal committee has done it. I'm kind of, the town board is reviewing those, and we've been going over them, and we've had multiple meetings. The old board had multiple meetings on it, exhausting meetings.
Yes.
And with the new town board, we're basically gonna have to start reviewing them and seeing what ideas they have. But that reality is that has to go second, because we have to take care of people's pay, and people work for the town, and do they have a
Yes.
job,
Yeah,
and
okay,
so
I
forth.
get
So
it.
that's taking priority over everything right now.
So, yeah, so what was being talked about at the end of last year, coming from the code committee, that's gonna be on hold for a while because of these other things that.
Yeah,
I got it now, thanks.
that's about all I got.
Any other business?
No. If anyone wants a free Sierra Club calendar. You have that.
I might take it. I'm looking for a calendar for the barn, yeah. Yeah, I make a motion that we adjourn our meeting for
I'll second.
January 8th.
All right. Chairman Watson,
Aye.
Deputy Chairwoman Liederman,
Aye.
And members.
I gotta go.
Those